Hello friends. Today, we will learn of the basic commands. For that, we will log in into our machine. We will give password. First of all, I will give you basic overview of the machine to the real-world environment connection. In our real-world environment, in production environment where we work in real life, we always work in CLI mode, which is called command line interface. And this one we are interacting with is a GUI mode. GUI means graphical user interface. This is our machine is graphical user interface. We will learn in class to work on CLI mode. Whenever I will say CLI, it means it is command line interface. Before doing anything, I will recommend all of you to take a snapshot from here of your machine. You just need to click on it. You need to give a name and take a snapshot. Like you can give fresh machine and you can take the snapshot from here. Suppose if anything happened to your machine, then you can recover the full fresh machine from that snapshot. Here it is saying revert this virtual machine to fresh machine because I have saved it with the name fresh machine. In that case, what will happen if your machine is corrupted? You don't have to reinstall the whole Linux again. You can start from the fresh machine every time. It will save you a lot of time because installing the RedHat almost take around 20 minutes to 30 minutes depending on the memory size of the laptop. First, we will learn where is terminal. If there is option activity. If you click on it, it will show you this screen. In this screen, this is terminal. Terminal means where we run command from where we control the Linux system. One way was opening the terminal from here. Once I opened the terminal, it showed here and it is showing today's date. And if I cut it, what is the other way to access the terminal? Because currently if you have not the activity button, then there is no option to access the terminal. Then in that case, what you will do? In that case, you will press Alt F2 and you will type Nom Suman at terminal. And by typing, the same terminal will reopen again. And what is the other method we can check? Like if we want to do with Alt F2, we want to the screen of the Linux, we can press Alt F1 also. Once you press Alt F1, it will show like this. And you can click on again this terminal. Now terminal is showing that it has logged in on the server AA. It is logged in on the server A with the user student. There are two types of users. One is Superuser, which has full access to the server, which can run any command. But other is normal user, which has limited access, which cannot run all commands. Like this is a student user, and if I ask him to create one more user, like I am saying user @John, it say permission denied because it does not have permission, like all kinds of permission to create the user. And to switch the user, what you need to do, we can switch the user, right? But two way. Either you can do sudo and give the root password. This way it will jump, or we press exit. We will come again to that student user. We can do root, we can do again give password RHEL. Again, it jumps. There are two ways to log in into the server. Now I will show if what will happen. Root is always the super user in Linux environment. Now we are creating user John. It created the user John. What is the command to check user John? You can check by ID command. It says the user has been created and it has been assigned a special ID, UID and GID. UID means user ID, GID means group ID has been assigned and it is the part of the groups. We will learn this in future. For now, just understand how to change the password of the John or how to set the password of the John. We will write password John command and we will give new password. Ignore the errors. But it's saying bad password because I have given simple password. But in Linux production environment, you always need to give the combination of special characters, capital letters, small letters, numbers. I have given here only a simple password just to make you understand how things work. Now I have set the password also for the user. Suppose the root user want to jump to John. It can go directly without asking any password. Because it has all the access, it has control over all the machine. And same thing if I do with this, like I go exit to time. Now I am on student user. Here it is student user. And now it want to jump as John. Student want to go to John. It is asking for a password. If it knows the password of John, then only it can log in. I have given the password. It was able to log in. Suppose I was not able to know like what is the password of the John, and if it is trying to access the John user and it is giving like I'm giving randomly password. Say it is saying authentication failure because it provide wrong password. This way we can switch and we can log into other users as well. What I told you, you just need to click on Alt F2. If you need to access the terminal of Linux on GUI mode, then you need to type gnome terminal. Now we jump as root. that we can run all the commands whatever we want. Now earlier it was student, now you jump as root, it is root. There are two types of logins. One is local to local, means you are in the machine and you are accessing the machine from inside it, like we are accessing right now, local to local. Other is remote login, which mostly companies use in outer world in production environment because they have a machine kept in. Like just take it example, like they have machine kept in Canada and they wanted to access the machine from India. What is the way? Because they cannot access directly because it's not installed on their desktop. In that way they use PuTTY, the tool. What are the requirements for the remote access? Requirement for remote access is they need username, they need password, they need IP of the server. IP could be like this: 192.168.0.112. Anything with this name is the IP. And they would need to log in. Remote login. We call it remote login. These are the things required to access the remote server. You will hardly use the GUI model in your production environment. Once you will go to the company and work in actual environment. What are the types of login environment? There are two types of login environment. One is server with GUI that we are using. Other is server with minimal install. That is called CLI. CLI mode. CLI means command line interface and GUI means graphical user interface. Why I'm teaching you all this? Because before starting, you should be aware of the terms used in actual environment. Your daily work would be in actual environment, which you will mostly do every day, and that will be log into the user or log into root. And you will use the remote login daily. You will daily log into the server, and that's why I'm telling you all this, why it is required. It is clear now, like there are two types of model, that is server with GUI. One is minimal install, what is terminal commands. Terminal commands, nothings. The one I'm running like pre-configured code. Suppose I run clear, it will clear all the data from my present screen. Like if you will scroll it to back, actually it is not clearing anything, but it has made the window up. These are called self-configured code commands. These are inbuilt in Linux. Users, I have already told you. If you hear, let's jump again, go to exit. Whenever you will log into the server as a user, it will show $prompt. And when you are logged in as a root user, it will show #prompt. It is clear indication that it has like limited access. It has full access. In GUI mode, you are able to work with mouse as well because you can cut. You can open anything. But in CLI mode pack, you will always work with keyboard. There, mouse requirement would be very less because you will be able to access only the black screen. Nothing else. You will not get any kind of graphical windows like this.